was all the superstars. 530 inches on a bucket or a new car. So flingy, flingy, so flingy, so blingy, blingy, so blingy. You see me, see me, you see me. The girls clingy, they clingy. They wanna ride with the juice mine, Mr. Mine.
I was literally just sleeping. I woke up from a dream that I was having where I was having a really deep epiphany about life and what I think the purpose of life is. And I woke up in tears, and it was a lot earlier than I usually wake up. And I was laying there thinking about going back to sleep, and then I realized I had to get up and write it down immediately. So I did that, and then right after I wrote it down, I decided while I'm still in this headspace to turn the camera on and start talking. So that is what's prompting this video, having woke up from this dream that I was literally just having within an hour ago. I was sitting in my bed as a teenager. I was on my phone and my TV was on in my bedroom. I was doing something, and I think I might have been 12, 13, 14, somewhere in that age where I should have been asleep, but I was up in the middle of the night doing something on my phone. Now, in the dream, my mom walks by my room to check on me, as she has done numerous times growing up as a child. I quickly hide my phone under my pillow and I pretend like I'm asleep. And in my dream, I'm laying there pretending to be asleep, and she comes in my room to turn off my TV and check on me. And I have many memories of my mom doing this as a kid, so that's probably what prompted this dream. She takes my phone from my pillow and puts it on the nightstand, and she sits on the edge of my bed and goes to turn the TV off. And when she's going to turn the TV off, in the dream, for whatever reason, the TV turned into home movies. And it was a home movie of us on a vacation where it was a very, very happy, very excited vacation. Lots of good emotions in the home movie of our vacation. She's sitting there watching it, reminiscing on the time before she turns it off, and I'm laying in bed, and I also recognize the vacation, and it makes me feel really happy. And then for some reason I start crying in my fake sleeping, curled up position. I start crying, and while I'm crying, that is when I have these thoughts about the meaning of life. And at the time, they were emotions. They were not literal train of thought, linear thought patterns in my dream. It was simply emotions, and they were so heavy that I just laid there crying. And then within 20 or 30 seconds, I wake up in my bedroom, still crying, and all of those emotions turning into thought patterns as I wake up into my bedroom and the world. So I'm laying there having my emotions transfer into thoughts, and I jump out of bed and I go to write them down. And this is what I came up with. So there's 2 points to life as far as what I think I realized in my dream. The first one is from that TV and from that vacation, from those good emotions, I had the feeling that one of the major purposes of life are the highs and lows that you get to experience during a limited set of rules being applied to being a human on Earth. From my point of view, where we come from is the universe, the infinite, which has no rules, no limitations. You're connected to God-like energy where anything is possible, anything can be done, and you don't have the same restrictions of gravity, of having to get a job. The highs and lows that come from the Earth. The Earth has a very limited set of rules. We're involved in a game of Earth where there's very specific guidelines and things that happen here. It's constricted compared to the infinity of the universe and where we come from as far as energetical beings. So we come here to Earth so that those highs and lows that we feel are so powerful and so deep because we don't remember the infinite. We don't remember we're gods. We don't remember where we came from. So while we're here, the ecstasy you feel of falling in love with another person and feeling emotions of connection to your fellow person, or whatever spikes very high emotional states in you, feel all encompassing. They take up who you are completely, and those highs are so high. And controversially, those lows are very low too. So you come to Earth in order to experience a full range of emotions in a context where it fully encompasses who you are and it feels very real, and it's not a game, but it's an experience that you sought out as an infinite being so that you could go through these experiences almost for the fun of it, or in order simply just to do it. So the purpose of life is simply just being here. The fact that you are here in the world and you're getting to experience highs and lows and you're getting to do life is the point of life. That is why you came to Earth, and is why you are alive. And I could feel that in my dream. It wasn't a thought pattern, it was an emotion. Now, as a caveat, I intellectually have believed that for a long time. So maybe my dream is a product of a thought pattern I've held intellectually in my brain, but I got to feel it in my being during a dream I just had. So maybe the dream's a product of my subconscious thought patterns, but regardless, it was a very, very great feeling dream, and I'm going to run with it for now as if it was a divine message from the beyond, instead of just my brain creating an emotion from a thought pattern of a belief system that I already hold. But I completely am willing to embrace that as a possibility as well too. But for the sake of this video, I'm going to continue on with my realizations that I want to share with you. So that is one of the main purposes of life, is to simply participate, be involved in life, and be taken in by the highs and the lows. Now, the next, which I think is probably even more important and and more paradoxical to the first point, is reality creation finally makes sense to me. We're here, and those highs and lows that you feel throughout your life are directly related to the reality that you create around you. The job that you have, the money that you make, and the friends that you make, and everything that you do in this physical world end up creating your surroundings. If you make a certain amount of money, if you have a certain amount of caliber of friends who are also succeeding in whatever ways you find fun, then your reality is going to be involved in trips with those friends. Maybe you like to kayak and those friends are kayakers. Whatever types of people you surround yourself with and the job that you hold ends up forming your experiences and dictates what kind of highs and lows you have, so that you can experience the full range of emotions that you really desire to experience. So reality creation isn't this woo-woo law of attraction, imagine it in your head and it becomes real. That could also be true, but it's also very literal in the sense that you literally create your reality by the actions that you take every day, and then the reality that you create around you dictates the highs and lows that you feel, and you are a god in the sense that you're here on earth and you have the ability and the freedom and just enough leeway to create what kind of reality you want to experience while you're here on earth. So, having said that, it's your responsibility to create your reality so that you can experience the highs and lows you want to experience. And then on an even deeper level, which hit me very close to home because I go back and forth a lot on whether or not I want to have kids, whether or not I want to be a father, whether or not I want to bring people into this world, whether or not I can handle that, whether or not the world's set up in a way where I think it's good to bring a kid into. I struggle with that a lot. And during this dream, it made me realize that that is something I want to do. And in a very real way, when a kid comes into the world, it has zero say in its reality, and you are literally creating a reality around a tiny human, and that little human's highs and lows are directly correspondent to the reality that you created for that human. So if you make a certain amount of money, you put a certain amount of effort into your career, and you work on yourself and you become happy, healthy, you have good friends around you, you put that kid in a good school, then that kid's highs and lows are a very specific set of highs and lows and experiences, and the point of its life is to be a part of a reality, and you want to create the best reality for that kid so that not only does he have a really great life, and the purpose of his life will be fulfilled in terms of him having really good experiences, but also he'll be set up to create his own reality in the best way that he sees fit. So in that way, the purpose of life has multiple layers, one of them being to experience fully here and now, and just being here. You're just taking part in a cosmic event, and you literally just took a number from a deli line, and then when your number gets called, you get called into Earth and you get to come play, and you're literally just here because it's your turn to be here, and you wanted to play the game, you wanted to feel the experiences, you wanted to ride the ride. It's almost like you were waiting in line to get on a roller coaster. It's your turn, you get born, and then you come into the world and you get to experience, and that's the whole point. It's your turn to ride the ride, and while you're on the ride, you get just enough freedom and leeway to create experiences for yourself, and then set up a life, and then set up a system to where if you bring someone else into it, say a kid, then you've created a small world for that kid. You're a little God, you're a little creator in the sense that you have control over that kid's reality, and you can set up a system where that kid can have its own highs and lows that are amazing in and of itself for that person, and you're passing on the knowledge of him for that kid to have a great life as well. So those are the two main purposes of life that I had in my dream, and I wanted to get it out onto film. I appreciate your time, and I hope you enjoyed it. I'd like to point out two major takeaways from this video that I think you should take. The first one, so there's two purposes of life, so each one has its own major takeaway. For the first one, just being here is the most important thing. Be happy that you're alive with whatever situation that you have. That's the one you're supposed to have, and you're gonna have highs and lows in relation to that situation, and that's what's important. And experience them fully, whether or not you're in a low state or high state right now. You're here to experience a set of experiences, and whatever you're going through right now, for better or for worse, is what you're supposed to be going through. So check into yourself, check into your life, and experience whatever it is that's happening to you right now fully, good or bad. And then also, the second point, take massive active action in making your highs and lows the types of experiences you want to experience, and take direct responsibility for the reality around you, and also realize that you have the ability to create any reality you want with a given set of effort and time. You can create anything you want, and then also realize that you can bring people into the world and create realities around them, so you have a lot more power in terms of creating reality than you give yourself credit for. Those are the main two takeaways that I got from my dream, and I'm really grateful for it, and I I'm really grateful to share it with you. I hope some of it made sense. I feel a little all over the place, mainly because I just woke up, but also because these ideas that are running through my brain are speeding through my brain, and it's very hard for me to get them out without sounding weird and also with the correct words. But I'm really grateful that I at least get an opportunity to try to do this, and I hope some of it made sense. I hope you appreciated it, and I will see you next time.